because I'm transitioning into the Bears right now because we got to talk about Chicago Bears football in every Behind the Pen podcast.
Absolutely, you have to.
In the 11th pick, the Bears have a ton of value there, and we've talked about it enough. But what do you want to see the Bears do?
Well, thanks for that question, man. That's a great question, and they do still have a lot of need. My number one move that I would like to see them, make is for a cornerback.
A corner.
I would ideally, in an insane world where Ryan Pace actually likes to, take chances, I would love to see him trade San Diego for their third overall pick and go with the best player in this draft and the best defensive player in the past few years to come out of the draft, a guy in Jalen Ramsey out of Florida State. Can play safety, can play cornerback, has all the intangibles, confident dude, just an overall badass, just a bad dude who is going to step in and just be a G. He's going to, pardon my slang, I apologize, but he's going to come in and just absolutely, he can automatically be your number one corner. We don't have to worry about Calvin Johnson in the division anymore, baby. So who do we have to be scared of? Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson post ACL surgery, barf. Right. No. It's clear that the Bears have the best receiver in the division, and
they're getting Kevin White back too.
And we're getting Kevin White back too. So to have that corner who's going to lock down anyone, and then have
Tracy
Fuller on the other side or Porter in the nickel.
I don't like Fuller. I don't like him.
And that's understandable. He's shown some flashes, though he really has. Yeah. Some days he looks like he
just
could,
lacks the instincts, man.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like a move to put him next to my favorite defensive player on the Bears, Adrian Amos.
There you go.
Put Amos next to Fuller at safety. That would be money. In like the 5th round too.
Yeah, we don't have to have Chris Brzezinski or Antrell Roll up there anymore.
Oh my God,
it would be such an upgrade. No, I love it. I love it. But now that's kind of a stretch if the Bears decide to trade up to 3. Let's be honest.
So we're talking 11. That's what we're talking about.
We'll go 11 now. Do you think a guy like DeForest Buckner, Vernon Hargreaves, Ronnie Stanley, maybe?
Do
you think those guys can fall to 11? Because I know Ezekiel Elliott's really a big name for the Bears right now. So I just want to hear your thoughts on what the Bears could do here.
Yet again, Mike, always thinking of everything, dude. I love that. I heard your praise in your past podcast of Hargreaves. You think he's fantastic. And like I'm talking about with that corner, can automatically solidify that number 1 position, hopefully. But, if and Ezekiel Elliott, we have a lot of guys available. Ronnie Stanley, I'll give you my mock here. I just want to make a shout out to everybody who does read mock drafts, who is involved in the draft. The Bears should not, and I don't think will, take Leonard Floyd. He appears to be the consensus pick for the Chicago Bears, which I think is ridiculous. There is so much depth in this draft, the most we've seen in almost a decade at the defensive end, defensive line position. I'm sick of seeing the Sheldon Rankins. I'm sick of seeing the Leonard Floyd. That's not a valuable pick. The Bears need to trade back if that's who you're thinking about getting, because you can get him at 16, 17, even 20. And then at that point, you got to go with William Jackson III at corner. But at the 11, here's just a quick rundown. I'm not going to go through the analytics, but a little draft I put together puts Goff and Wentz, respectively, Rams, Eagles. Then Jalen Ramsey at 3 because the Chargers know how to draft. Ezekiel Elliott to the Cowboys.
You think so?
At 4.
That's a pretty high pick.
That's Jerry
Passing
Jones,
on
though.
Miles Jack?
That's Jerry Jones. Miles Jack and that knee, everybody's crying about it.
Yeah,
you know what?
But he's the most talented linebacker in this entire draft.
So I would say Jalen Smith but he's
Smith,
way gone.
Well, he's gone because of the damage.
Knee condition again, the nerve damage,
bad.
and it's bad, dude. He might not play football again.
Yeah, but Miles Jack, you think he's going to fall?
I think Miles Jack falls 1 lower because, my gosh, the Jags need a linebacker. He would solidify that outside linebacker position. He'd be amazing for that team. They get Dante Fowler back. Then, yet again, Ozzie Newsome winning the draft like he does every year somehow. He's going to get the best offensive prospect in the draft, and he's going to have Laramie Tunzel fall to him. Then back-to-back offensive linemen. Ronnie Staley going to the 49ers. They need to protect whoever they're going to put under center. Then 8 is where the shakeup happens and allows the Bears to get the player I want them to. I think the Browns go with Paxton Lynch.
They're crazy if they do.
So, well, let's not, Mike. We had a conversation earlier. The Browns are the worst organization in sports, and let's not forget names like Mohamed Mascoui and Trent Richardson and Johnny Manziel and Brandon Whedon, and who was the guy that's just Barkevius Mingo. Oh my God. So they seem like they'd be super, super dumb and take Paxton Lynch, who's probably not going to pan out for them anyway, like no quarterback does. But see, now here's where things open up. Once that 8 spot is taken by a quarterback, that leaves some really good top 10 value available.
Bosa, Buckner, Hargreaves.
This is going to make you happy now. So now I think Bosa is the best rusher in the draft. Everybody knows that. People are concerned with his off the field issues.
They're comping him to JJ Watt already, which is crazy.
He's got that big build. I mean, that might have to do with the fact that they're both white, but I mean, who knows? But Joey Bosa to the Bucs at 9. I think that just seems like such a move that they would make. Then Hargreaves to the Giants at 10. I know that hurts your soul.
That's okay, though, because I know where you're going,
to 11, baby.
DeForest Buckner landing at the Bears at 11?
Oh, my Lord.
If that happens...
Talk about that now. Now we don't have to worry about... Because that dude could take up 2 spots on the line, so we don't have to... He could rush. He's dropped into coverage before, too. I mean, this dude is unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, and comparing his to the squawny pussy Leonard...
That's okay. You're good.
Leonard Floyd, I just couldn't imagine, such value being able to come to them and them... to end up taking a guy like Leonard Floyd.
Yeah. Now, right. But now that's kind of a stretch to say Buckner would fall to 11. I can see it happening.
Or Bosa. Or Hargreaves.
Maybe, those guys, because of what went down in the draft, this is possible. And it's exciting. But yes, oh man, if the Bears get Buckner, because that's really, you're talking about positions in need.
Yeah.
Defensive line needs depth, right? They shored up their offensive line in the offseason.
Oh, absolutely.
And they did really well in the middle linebackers position to shore and actually have like consistent veteran presence who know how to play the position. Like Shea McClellan's gone.
Thank God.
Yeah, Christian Jones. Bleh,
so John Bostic. He was gone last year.
So they don't know. They don't. See you later. We're good there. And then you look at the cornerbacks. Okay, they can get by there. The safeties, they'll be okay. Right, but the defensive line, you need depth there, especially in that 3-4 set.
You need that run stop. I mean,
this is it right there.
The Bears were they were 4th overall in rushing yards allowed. That's ridiculous. You can't let up that many rush yards a game.
And that also has to do with ridiculous. with the middle linebacking core because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. But yeah, you're right.
That's true. I think those run stuffers are and Buckner can do all of that. He's a physical presence. And obviously that was slight wishful thinking, with the way I maneuvered that
possible.
Top 11.
Very possible.
But I think it's incredible. All we have to worry about, Mike, is the Browns making a really dumb choice like they're bound to do. So let Hugh Jackson go in there, fuck up his team even more, and then let the Bears just reap the benefits of that.
I'm going to give a little bit of credit to Hugh Jackson because he's actually probably one of the most competent Cleveland Brown coaches they've had in a long time.
Past 10 years.
Yeah, so
since Eric Mangini.
But still, I'm not having any faith in the Browns front office to make the right decision here. So
no, you can't.
The teams that I'm worried about, the Browns are there too, but for Buckner to fall, you got to watch the 49ers and you got to watch the Tampa Bay Bucks. To see who they decide. If they take Hargreaves and Buckner's still there, I'll jump for joy because I think the Giants will go offensive tackle. So we'll see. But with this Bears stuff, I was talking about Elliott earlier. He could be a total game changer despite the fact they still have a pretty solid running back core right now.
You know what? That's another fantastic point, Mike. I am. You can ask my best friend Mike Doro. I talk to him all the time. Doro. Shout out Mike Doro. You could talk to him. I've since the minute Jeremy Langford stepped onto the field, I was like, this is my dude.
He's great.
Bye, Forte. I'll catch you later, homie. Although that was bogus, Ryan Pace, offering C.J. Anderson a big contract when he's essentially the same player, just a couple years younger than Forte, and not even giving Forte an initial offer. That was trash. I hope you're listening. I think that he shores up that position to the point where Pace isn't the kind of guy to make that move for Ezekiel Elliott. Although I think if he comes to 11, I think if he comes anywhere past 4, you are just bound to take him. I mean, TJ Yeldon isn't going to do it for the Jags. Who even plays running back for Justin Forsett for the Ravens? Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. San Francisco, Carlos Hyde, he's blah. I mean, the Browns, Isaiah Crowell? Right. Duke Johnson?
Right.
Oh, man, no, that's not happening. Then, obviously, I don't see Doug Martin after everything that's happening. I mean, he's a top 10 running back now. The Giants, you have to take him if you're the Giants. I mean,
he's still there, maybe,
Rashad Jennings? Are you serious? So, I mean, I think so many of those teams are nuts to pass on the best running back prospect since
Peterson. That's kind of pushing it.
Since Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
I mean, Le'Veon Bell, he wasn't like a giant prospect. I mean, he wasn't a first round pick.
Yeah, he came on.
Anything,
he's just like athletic, just making moves.
Exactly. I mean, Ezekiel is better than Todd Gurley.
He can do it all.
Better than Melvin Gordon.
He can do it all.
I mean, the ability to block, run,
catch passes.
And
you know what? The thing is too, like this is why I'm bringing this up. Ryan Pace often said that, yes, I'm gonna make the best pick available, like the top talent, whatever, best player available in this draft.
That's not true.
But hey, if this is the case and Ezekiel Elliott's available, you take him. Because in the NFL, for you to succeed at the running back position, you have to have depth. You can't just rely. And now the Bears got away with it because they had Forte as your number one, who could be the guy all the time. He could do everything. But right now, he's gone. And are you really going to lay it all on Langford and Carey? Now, Kadeem Carey looked really good last year.
He looked hot. He looked good.
And the way that they mixed him in on third downs once in a while.
Scored some touchdowns. He was pounding it.
But now without Forte, now Langford, Carey, and as well as Jaquez Rogers.
Young Jaquez, dude. Him. Can't forget about that.
So, and then you add Ezekiel Elliott into these 4 running backs core.
Oh, my Lord.
That's versatile. That's talented. And you can preserve a lot of these guys, bodies instead of beating them into the ground.
But see, I think at that point it pretty much closes the door and makes Jaquiz a strictly special teams player.
Sure,
at that
and
point.
They need that though.
And they need that. He's a big dude. I mean, not big as in tall. He's like 5'6", or like 4'4". He's like Kendrick Lamar's height. But he's a big dude. I mean, he could hit. He's a great blocker. So that would be fantastic. And I think if you have guys like Buckner, Bosa, those boys off the board. Mm-hmm. There are too many question marks after that. You don't know if that skinny, small, guy like Leonard Floyd is going to pan out. But it is like a sure thing, Andrew Luck style, that Ezekiel Elliott is going to come into the NFL and be a difference maker.
I will be very, very excited. There are 3 guys that I hope the Bears end up with after the draft. I want either Hargreaves, Buckner, or Elliott. If one of those 3 guys fall at 11, I'll be a happy camper. And if they're not on the board and they take a guy like Jack Conklin, I'll be all right with it, but I'd rather them trade down at that point.
You have to trade down.
Maybe make a move and add even more picks, because with this Bears transition process, we've talked about it enough. The way you build a team is through the draft.
Yes.
And at that point, 11's still got a lot of value. And if a team wants him on draft day, be like, yo, man, we're targeting this guy. We'll give you some... you could take our first round pick and some a little bit more,
and a second round, or a third round.
Come on,
that's
might
money.
As well at that point.
There are no jump off the paper superstars besides like a bona fide superstar like Ezekiel Elliott or Jalen Ramsey. Besides those guys, there aren't many of those, but this draft is incredibly deep, especially on the defensive end. Especially a quarterback. I would love to see the Bears go out at 4 and have a Cutler backup.
We talked about this before.
Jacoby Brissett, Dak Prescott. Those boys are dope.
If the Bears decide to draft a quarterback, it better be in the mid to late rounds.
Got to be in the mid to late rounds.
And I saw some reports, if we're talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's talk.
I saw some reports that Brian Hoyer might fall to the Bears.
He seems like a Jet. I could just see him in that uniform right now. But I mean, I know he's been there for like 14 weeks already, just like chilling with that whole squad out there.
They're trying
Todd
to get
Bowles and everyone.
Patrick together too with that deal, But
that's weird.
Yeah.
And there we go again. What if the Jets want to trade up for that Browns pick and get Paxton Lynch?
So many possibilities.
So if that happens, the Browns move back. They get even more picks, which is what they want. And so then the Jets take a quarterback. 3 quarterbacks in the top 10. That leaves one of those top 10 guys to fall to the Bears.
It all benefits the Bears.
It all benefits the Bears.
They're at pity. They're sitting pretty at 11. I love it.
They sure are, but you know what? It's such an ugly spot because we have about 10 solid guys who could jump in and make an immediate difference. So if all 10 of those guys go off the board like they're supposed to, which never happens, then, we're screwed and we have to trade back.
April 28th, I believe, is the draft date.
Yes,
am I right?
That's
April
right.
28th. That's the draft. You got to check it out. We're looking. Speculation time is over. We just need to see it happen.
Yep.
And wow, that was really good conversation.
Thanks,
man.
For
the draft. I want to transition a little bit now into some NHL talk.
Okay.
But awesome stuff, man. Like hell yeah, let's go. I'm so excited for the Bears already. But
me too, man. I can't wait. 10-6.
Think so?
10 and
it could
6.
happen.
10-6.
Second easiest schedule in the NFL.
Second easiest after Green Bay.
Packers, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But
I mean,